stepping on that yellow brick road, wearing those silver shoes with the little blue socks. It was a really special moment.
You got the golden ticket.
Today we have Bethany Weaver joining us, who played Miss Dorothy in John M. Chu's Wicked for Good. She's finally able to use her voice and
I'm
speak with all
here.
of us. Yeah.
Out of the shadows I come, straight in to life. It's wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, of course. Also I saw your story when you said something along those lines where you said, "Out of the shadows I come," and I just got so internally excited. Finally,
Wonderful.
we get to hear
Yes.
your voice and see your beautiful face.
Thank you. Yes, I did think the other day, I thought everyone's kind of seen the back of my head and my dress and my calves and they've seen
Yeah,
my
yeah.
face, but they don't know what my voice sounds like. So I'm like, oh, and I'm really shy on Instagram, so I'm
So
terrible at getting myself on there. So
oh,
yeah, this is what I sound like.
yeah,
My
yeah.
sweet Surrey accent.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. It's so funny. I was like, "Oh my god, she has some of the most famous, what, ankles, legs from the calves down other than, like, Barbie herself." That
Yeah.
that might be the case.
I know. Do you know what? That's so interesting. I wonder if like my legs are now worth something because of the movie. I would love to know if anyone knows. Let me know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Just what a wild ride this has all
Yeah.
probably been for you, though, because like you said, you hadn't been able to really talk about this role or the casting process, or we didn't hear your voice in the movie. So now we're finally getting to hear from you.
Yes. I know I'm so grateful that it's finally here. I've had to wait a long time, but patience is a virtue, right? And you're kind of allowed to have your moment at the right time. And I'm just really glad that I'm able to come out of the shadows and share my experience. Although Dorothy is a very, very small part of Wicked, because of course, naturally, it's about Glinda and Elphaba's relationship.
Mhm.
Dorothy kind of just, I feel like I appeared in the movie after something really nice happened or things were just going really well. I then seem to show up and just like cause mayhem and just be a little rascal. So it's wonderful to step out of those shadows and share everything Wicked and Dorothy and Bethany. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited.
It's also wild because I'm nosy. I scrolled and I made a
Yeah.
video about this, but I know when I first saw Wicked for Good, I saw it at an early screener, so it had barely come out that
Yes.
you were cast as Dorothy. And so scrolling through your page, I saw that you had posted a video of you singing.
The Wizard and I,
Yeah.
yes. Like
Okay.
years ago.
Yeah, and I think that was in, I want to say 2022.
Yeah.
So to hear you singing that, you posted that online and then this whole process began how far after that?
Well, I think it must have been maybe like 7 months. So in 2022, I actually took a break from performing. After COVID, it really knocked my confidence. And I mean, all the theatres closed, and theatre stopped kind of all over the world. It
Yeah.
kind of came to a standstill, which was heartbreaking. And I didn't want to sit around and do nothing, so I was actually a carer in my community. So I used to go to people's houses and look after them.
Aw.
And that's kind of what I was doing. And I think I saw what COVID did firsthand, not only to people, but their families. And it just really knocked my confidence. So I kind of decided to take a year out, which was 2022. So I started a fitness company that I now run. It's called Pilates and Dance UK. So it's still going, which is really nice. And I was teaching musical theatre, and I just had a free studio space after work. And I just decided I love Wicked. I really, really love it. So I decided to have a little sing song and recorded it. And I just thought to myself, I'm going to be in this show someday. And I have a vision board in my bedroom, and I swear by a vision board,
Yeah.
by manifestation. And it was in the center of my vision board. And little did I know that I was going to be Dorothy in the movie. I was kind of hoping for ensemble in the West End, maybe cover Nessa Rose, and then here it came, this massive like tornado of opportunity. And I was like, oh my gosh, it works. So yeah, 2022 I posted that video, and then actually Wicked was my first audition back, stepping back into the industry, and I booked it, and I was like, wow. So take it just shows that taking a bit of time to work on yourself and learning how to believe in yourself has such power, and
Yeah.
I'm living breathing proof of it. So here we are in 2026. I'm now 30, and yeah, I'm Dorothy in Wicked for Good. Wild.
Oh my no, so
Yeah.
wild. It's such a just wild story and journey that you went on. I also
Yeah,
believe wholeheartedly in vision boards and manifestation. I feel like it always works in one way or another. You just sometimes you don't realize the way that it's coming together. The fact that it was front and
absolutely.
center on your vision board.
Yeah, right in the middle. I was like, I'm going to be in Wicked. And then, yeah, my prayers were answered.
Yeah.
There's so much joy and power in like praying for your dreams.
Yeah.
And whether that is praying literally, or if that's putting a vision board together and having it as your screen background, like there's such power in believing in yourself
Yeah.
and wanting your dreams to come true, because they can happen. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, just what a story. I know
Yeah.
you also have more of a theater background rather than
Yes, I do. Yes.
on-screen acting, right?
Actually, no. Wicked is my first movie debut. I've never done any TV and film, so I was kind of like catapulted into this like crazy, huge budget movie with
Right,
these
just a
amazing,
multi-million dollar movie, got it.
yeah, playing Dorothy, like a really iconic character, and have been has been played by some really amazing, incredible women.
Yeah.
Judy Garland herself, Diana Ross, and I'm so lucky to join that line of women, even in just a small little capsule of the world of Wicked and Oz. But it's wild actually. I do think about it sometimes. I'm like, oh yeah, that's me in the movie. I fly
Yeah.
quite a lot for work, and
Uh-huh.
I travel. My partner lives in Dubai, which is why I'm here,
Oh, okay.
and which is lovely because it's very sunny outside compared to rainy
Yeah.
UK.
Fair point. Not a bad
Yes,
place to visit.
absolutely. Yeah, and I was on the plane, and someone next to me was watching Wicked, and I just see myself walk across the street, the screen, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. And it's taken a while, I think, for it to sink in. I think when I first watched it at the London premiere, I almost kind of didn't quite sink in that that was me
Yeah.
walking along the yellow brick road. So like I still catch myself sometimes if I pop up on Instagram, I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. Oh, and it's
Oh,
like excitement all over again. I'm like a little child,
it's
which is
so
funny because I'm playing a 16-year-old in
yeah.
in the movie, and I'm 30, which no one seems to believe. When I travel, people have to double check my passport, and I'm like, well, sunscreen and water,
Yeah.
and
Great
you know,
genetics and sunscreen,
yeah,
water, like you said, great skincare routine, I'm sure. Ooh.
absolutely. And yeah, factor 50 all year round, even in
Yeah.
rainy England. So yeah, it's been a huge change in my life in a positive way, and hopefully
Oh,
for my career. So yes, my background is mainly theatre, but this is my first movie experience. What a way to get into the business, hey?
yeah, well, it kind of makes sense with it
Mm,
being Wicked, this being
yes.
something that it is a musical, so it kind of, like, lends itself over very well. What do you remember about the audition process?
Well, the audition was really wild, actually. I got a phone call from my agent the night before saying, can you go in for this audition? It's Dorothy in the Wicked movie. And I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, probably not going to get that, but let's
Right.
go and give it my best shot. So went in, my name wasn't on the list, so I was like, oh no. So long story short, I got into the kind of waiting area, and all of the girls who were waiting had like the classic Dorothy braids. They had their skirts and like heels on, and they were practicing to something. So I kind of rocked up with just my hair like this and
Mhm.
a blue jumper because I thought, oh, Dorothy blue, this will be
Cute.
nice. Um, so I kind of looked around and I was like, oh, I'm missing something. So I asked the very kind girls, I was like, hi, did we need to have something prepared? They were like, oh, did you not get the brief? And I was like, no.
Oh, no.
So luckily, I mean, I am very grateful in audition rooms in the UK, like people are generally very kind and very forgiving and they will help you. So the girls, bless, that one girl had come out and just took her hair out of her braids and gave me her hair bobbles. And then another
Oh.
girl, I know, another girl walked me through what I had to do. And then I think I had maybe 2 minutes and then I had to go straight in. So I kind of just thought, well,
Stop.
I was like, it's now or never. I'm just going
Yeah.
to go in and do what I feel is best. So I went in and I was chatting to Tamsin, the casting director, and we were chatting for ages actually. And I don't know if they were maybe looking for mannerisms, but I then had to do a little section where I was behind a gauze and I had to pretend to throw the water over the witch.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I must have done something right because she said it was the moment I walked into the room that she knew I was there, Dorothy. So she called my agent like 20 minutes after the audition, and I think I was maybe the last person to go in for the audition, I think. So
Wow.
yeah, and then a couple of days later, I got the phone call from my agent, and I just remember crying because I was so
Oh.
happy. So I had to call my agent back, I think the next day, and be like, can you just repeat what you said? Because I didn't really take it in because I was so overwhelmed
Yeah,
with
yeah.
joy, of course. And I think my favorite part was telling my mum and my dad that I had booked the job. I think every performer's dream is to kind of have that moment where they're like, Mum and Dad, I've made it. All of the lessons you paid for, all of the dance tights and exams and singing lessons, driving me to dance classes and auditions, like it's all been worth it. So I think,
Yeah.
yeah, it was such a whirlwind. And then, next week I'm in for fittings and hair
Oh, that
appointment.
quick.
Yeah, like really, really quick turnaround, which was crazy. So my life looked really different from one week to the next. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
such a tour. I literally felt like I was in the middle of a tornado, which is very Dorothy. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Wait,
it
how
was
fitting.
wild.
Hello.
Yeah, right in the
Did
middle. I was like, oh my gosh.
yeah. Did you have to call out of work or anything like that? Were you in the middle of shows at the time?
No, so I just kind of hopped back into auditions. So, I mean, I'm very lucky
That's
I'm
right.
the boss of my own company. So I
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
decide my schedule. So I was like, oh, okay, I can move it around. But thank goodness I wasn't, in the middle of like a run or tech.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's the toughest part of a musical. So I was very lucky that, and I am a strong believer that everything happens at the right time and you'll be placed in the right place at the right time. So I was lucky I didn't have anything kind of huge coming up. So it was, yeah, it was perfect timing.
Did any of the other Dorothys did you happen to follow each other after that?
Yes, and there was a lovely girl called Abby who, if she watches this, thank you so much. She was the one who walked me through what I had to do for the audition.
Oh.
Um, so yeah, I mean, and then we would follow each other, and we've got mutual friends now. And I think she actually ended up being a dancer in the movie,
Oh,
and she's an
stop.
incredible dancer. So I was so happy to see a familiar face
Oh
in the
my
movie.
gosh.
Yeah, and we're really lucky. Everyone on set, from the big stars to people behind the camera to the dancers, everyone was so kind and lovely. And
Yeah.
I didn't even have to be in my blue gingham dress for people to know I was Dorothy. I just had
Oh.
my hair in braids, and everyone was like, "Oh!" So yeah, it was lovely. I'm so grateful that I was just surrounded by like hundreds of kind people, which is very reassuring considering the way our world is going at the moment. So I think
Absolutely.
Wicked brings a lot of hope both on the screen and off the screen, that kindness is still there. It's still very, very present. We just maybe have to search a little harder, hey?
Yeah, it's definitely one of those movies, or in this case, 2 of those movies
Mm.
that we needed, you know? We needed
Yes,
something just, like, positive and happy, and there's sadness and darkness to it as well, but if you watch it all the way through, like, you'll definitely feel the love that was put into it. With you
absolutely.
being a theater actor and someone who had been in the arts for so long, were you familiar with John M. Chu's work prior?
Yes, well, funnily enough, and not many people know this about me, but back when I was really young, maybe 12 or 13, I actually, which is, I don't know why I feel embarrassed, but I used to break dance, which is hilarious because now I'm like a ballet, musical theatre, like jazz queen.
Uh-huh.
But I grew up watching the Step Up movies.
Yes.
Honestly, honestly, they are some of the best dance movies of all time. And of course, John M. Chu was the director, I think of, was it Step Up to the Streets?
Yes, yes, I think that's it.
Oh, yeah. And so when I discovered he was the director of Wicked, I was like, oh, I recognize that name. So
Mhm.
then I looked and I was like, no way. Like the movies that inspired me. And, I used to go, I was the only girl in my breakdance class. It was
Oh.
£3 a class. Um, had this like little hat and I was learning to do all of the like crazy moves, and I was just obsessed with the Step Up movies. So I am very familiar with his work, and it's such a full circle moment. I kind of transformed into this kind of sweet musical theatre kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, oh, just such a funny way of things aligning as well. But yeah, he's a wonderful director, and he set the bar really high for me for what I would hope to encounter on my next movie when I'm blessed with
Mhm.
one.
Yeah, he seems like such an actor's director, like, you
Yes.
really work together, and he helps you to find the place that you need to go.
Yes, absolutely. And I think John's talked about it before in previous interviews. He really loves to shoot dance. He's got this real, almost like universal language, both with the dancers and the camera. So,
Yeah.
throughout both part one and part two, like the movement is so beautifully captured. And, with Wicked alone, there's the movement style. I mean, anyone who's seen the musical, it's very specific and it's not kind of all like jazz handy, although I
Yeah.
love a jazz hand. It's so beautifully captured, and he's really kind of cared for every aspect of the movie, both it being a movie and a musical. And I just think he's done a beautiful, beautiful job at capturing the storytelling of every part of that movie. So I'm so
Mhm.
proud to be a part of it, absolutely.
Yeah. Was he there for your audition?
No, he wasn't actually.
Oh.
It was just Tamsin and her lovely casting assistant. And then the first time I met John was on my first day on set,
Oh my
which
gosh.
was in front of the Wizard's Head. Yeah,
Oh, wait.
I
I
was
didn't
like,
think
oh my
about
God.
that. For
Yeah,
the
it's
water
huge.
scene?
No, the at the very the oh when it was released at the Super Bowl, you see my legs, and then you just
Yes.
see us, me and the Fab Four stood underneath the Wizard's Head. So those two shots, they were my very first day on set. I was just so wonderfully overwhelmed, and I'm 5'3", I'm tiny, so I'm stood
Mhm.
next to like Jonathan Bailey, Amari, who's the body of the lion. Ethan's all like tinned out. I've met Toto slash Oscar the dog for the first time,
Oh.
and there's had this huge like robot head in front of me. So I'm not acting in the slightest. I genuinely was like, oh my gosh, it was so,
Yeah.
yeah, amazing and overwhelming in the probably best way possible. So I was really catapulted onto that set. It was quite mesmerizing actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it probably helps that the set is so massive and they put so much into it. Like the set
absolutely.
designers, oh my, I'm blown away every time I watch it.
Yes, I mean, no detail was forgotten about. You
Yeah.
know, even when you went into the kind of wizard's lair almost where the mechanical head is, like just
Mhm.
looking at the bricks, and was really lucky to go and have a little look at the almost little model that the wizard makes and where he finds the yellow brick road, you know,
Yes.
the detail that had gone into that, the shading on the specific shade on the yellow brick, it
Mm.
just was magical. And, you know, I think everything was so well taken care of, and a lot of detail and symbolism was woven in, and it was like stepping into either the West End show or in moments the Wizard of Oz, like stepping through when Dorothy goes from that kind of tea stained world into that like colourful Munchkin land. It
Yeah,
Yeah, it just felt so surreal. You felt like Oz was a real place from the
exactly.
set alone.
Oh my god, yeah. I saw that they were sending a couple of people pieces of the yellow brick road, and
Yes.
it just felt actually, did you get to take anything home with you?
No, because it was my first movie. I was a bit nervous.
Yeah.
I was like, "No, I can't take anything. No, 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 no." So yes, I was good. I didn't steal anything from the set.
I
Um,
would have felt the exact same way though. I would have been like, "Of course I wanna take everything,
yeah,
but maybe the dress, maybe the shoes perhaps, but I don't know,
I
it's a big
know.
ask."
I know. I did think I was like, "They'll definitely notice if the shoes are missing
Could
and
you
the dress."
imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were, like,
So I
custom
did.
for your feet, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I had my feet 4D scanned, so the shoes only fit me. Paul Taswell and his team really looked after me, and it was just such a special feeling knowing that the costume was made to fit my body and my stature and complement it in not just the way of me as Bethany, but also capturing a tribute of Dorothy. So
Mhm.
it was really wonderful. Yeah, no detail again was forgotten about. Every kind of little pleat in the dress. There's 32 buttons and poppers on just the dress alone. Um, the kind of device used so that my shirt wouldn't crinkle, like the ribbon
Oh.
that's woven in at the top and embroidered. Oh, it's just fabulous. I felt like not myself in the most beautiful way possible. I
Yeah.
did feel like I was Dorothy when I was in that costume.
It's exactly what you hope to happen as an
Yeah.
actor, right? It's
Yeah.
like you want the costume, of course, you wanna do the work mentally, but you want the costume to help to get you there, and her
Yes.
outfit is so iconic. We've seen it
Yes.
forever. So
Absolutely.
I can just only imagine what that was like for you as Dorothy to throw that on and be like, "This isn't just a Halloween costume, this is her outfit."
This is her. Absolutely. And, you know, stepping on that yellow brick road, wearing those silver shoes with the little blue socks, it was a really special moment. I mean, I'm sure lots of people have grown up with The Wizard of Oz and of Judy Garland being a really important figure in their life. So naturally, I stepped on the set not wanting to impersonate Judy Garland, but I definitely wanted to kind of carry an armor shaped of her and
Mhm.
the women who have played her before me. So it it felt really special to be wearing that blue gingham dress alone, and you know have my hair in the perfect braids shaped by Lorna, who took care of me on the set. It was really, yeah, it was surreal. And you know, when you're an actor and your costume is almost the cherry on top for you to finally step into the role and literally step into somebody else's shoes. And when those shoes are custom made for you, and you know, you've got that tornado heel, the shoes were so comfortable, and you know, the socks are perfectly rolled down so that they match. It's the cherry on top that every actor could hope and wish for to do their best work when it's most important.
Yeah, it was just so beautiful going through all the photos, seeing it on video, but also when we were able to go home and actually zoom in and
Yeah.
analyze all the little details of it, so you being able to actually hold them in your hand, try them on your foot.
Yes.
Were they actually comfortable though? Because while they look
Yes.
beautiful, they looked uncomfortable.
Really? Yes. Well, they were really comfortable actually. I could run, I could jump, I could hop about. I mean, I don't want to spoil the movie, but
Yeah.
there's a moment where I kind of pick up a really important symbol and I'm like
Mhm.
hopping and jumping around. So, everything was really and I run off. So everything was really comfortable and everything was made to fit me, so I didn't have any
Yeah.
problems. I was very grateful because dance shoes in particular aren't usually the most comfortable apart from a
Fair point.
Laduca. Any theatre ladies and gentlemen will know that a Laduca boot or a Laduca heel is the most comfortable shoe. You can do anything. You could do a backflip in them. Um, Not that I'm saying I can do that, but if I wanted to, I could.
Yeah.
So it was really nice to step into another, essentially, almost like a character shoe that
Mhm.
was really comfortable because I know that Judy Garland's original shoes were not comfortable in the slightest. So
Right.
I'm grateful that times have moved on, that women's comfort in the shoe wear area has progressed. So I can definitely advocate for that.
Yeah, I figured they would have taken care of you in that regard.
Yes, I would have been like, please help.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't want to bloodstain these shoes. Point shoes, fine. That's
No.
part of the process. But any other shoe, I was like, no. So they did really take care of me. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah. I know a really big conversation right after people were finally able to screen the movie was the color of the shoes and the
Yes.
slippers. Were you shocked at all that they were silver rather than ruby?
I think I was at the beginning. I mean, I knew the original shoes from the books were silver,
Mhm.
but the Wizard of Oz, naturally, it's so famous for the ruby slippers.
Yeah.
So when I first discovered they were silver, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Why have they
Yeah.
chosen to do that? But then I thought, oh, okay, well, in the original stories, Dorothy actually wears silver slippers. And,
Mhm.
there's copyright and they have to tread carefully in that area. But I think they captured some ruby moments, I'm going to call them, in the movie that almost hinted at that prosperity and joy that the ruby slippers kind of brought everyone in the world of Oz. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the silver shoes are up close, are so beautiful, and they were so beautifully done. And, there was a shot when you first see me in the movie in the flesh. You see my shoes first,
Mhm.
and that's real sunlight reflecting off of my
Oh.
shoes because
Oh.
the set was outside in Munchkin Land. So, to see my shoes just glimmering in the sunlight and then going off down the yellow brick road, I was like, oh, this is really special. So I think the silver shoes hold equal weight to the ruby slippers. But I know lots of people were like, why aren't they red? I was like, well, in the original stories, they're silver, but they're equally as beautiful and, yes, very comfortable. So I was very lucky.
Yeah, you probably did so much digging throughout working on this film. Just
Yes.
research. I can only imagine what that
Yes.
was like.
Yes. I mean, I kind of, I guess in a way, because I didn't have any lines and you don't see my face. My presence was very dependent on the way I moved and my
Yeah.
mannerisms. So I really wanted to capture that childlike essence of Dorothy. And I also wanted to kind of just carry a few little moments of the Dorothys that have come before me.
Mhm.
Um, but I was very much myself. So I kind of just allowed myself to play on set. And that was another really lovely moment about working with John, is that he gave you so much space, no matter how big or small your character was. He gave you that space to just try things.
Mm.
And, in theatre, sometimes some musicals, and it's just the way it is, it becomes quite mechanical. Stand here, say it like this, hold this
Yeah.
prop in this hand, uh, face this direction. it kind of ends up being a bit mechanical, and that playfulness and that exploration is sometimes unintentionally taken away from you. So to step onto the set of a movie musical, I guess, and to be allowed just like full playing range, I was like, this is exciting. So yeah, I mean, there were lots of kind of beautiful moments that, are shown in the movie, but also some that aren't shown, but in the
Mhm.
moment were just so wonderful. It was just such a lovely creative playground. And yeah, I feel I've had so many wonderful messages actually from fans saying you captured Dorothy perfectly, even though you weren't
Oh.
shown through your face or you didn't have any lines. But I will say that scream, that was me. It's my scream. I was I'm
We
very
did
proud of
hear
that scream.
you.
You did, yes. I mean, it's funny because when I shot that scene, um, originally I wasn't screaming. It was just a camera bird's eye view shot naturally that's in the movie. And John was asking for a bit more urgency and a bit more fear. So I just thought, can I scream? Is that okay? He was like, yeah, sure. If that makes you feel like you'll get that urgency. I was like, yeah, okay. And then I thought, my gosh, I haven't screamed since I was about 8. You know, when you're running in the playground and you're playing tag, you're it and you scream. I thought, oh my God, I've not done that since I was literally a child and I was
Yeah.
29 when I was shooting that scene. So I thought, oh God, I'm going to just have to see what happens. And then I had you have a microphone in your costume. So I kind of just said to the microphone gentleman, I'm just going to scream. So maybe take your ears out. He's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And I went up and I just let out this massive scream, and everyone was like this. Then
Oh.
John was like, yes, amazing. That's exactly what we want. Can you do that again? Is that okay? I was like, yeah, sure. And then naturally, when you're doing a film, you have to record the sound effects separately. So I just
Oh.
stood still with like the whole set looking at me and just screamed into this microphone for about 13 seconds and then was like, okay, I'm done now. Thank you. And then everyone was like, yay.
Wait, just
Yeah.
like therapy, but it's set? Okay.
Yeah. My mum was like, "What did you do today?" I was like, "Oh, I just went up in a wire and I screamed." And she was like, "Oh, okay." And she's like, "What are you doing tomorrow?" I was like, "Oh, teaching Pilates all day." So she's like, "Oh, all right. At least you have a nice little bit of versatility in there."
Yeah.
So yeah, it was so that scream is mine, I will say. So I'm very proud of that. That's authentically me screaming my
Yeah.
lungs out that are now
As you
30 and
should
not
be.
8.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like that's something that everyone kind of, like, dreams of doing as an actor,
Yeah.
or that's at least how I think of it when I picture, like, auditions or just having to, like, run through a horror scene, for example, when you're going through the
Yes.
scream over and over and over, and here you are as Dorothy getting to do that exact type of scream, really.
Yes, I know, it was
So
like a slightly
thrilling.
disturbing, yeah, slightly disturbing dream come true, I guess.
Yeah.
Like just being able to scream from being picked up by some mythical monkeys. Yeah, so it was, do you know what, that was probably one of my favorite days on set, actually. It was so cool. Um, yeah, what a funny world is being an actor sometimes. What did you do today? Oh, I just screamed. Okay,
Screamed.
great.
No,
Just screamed.
so
This is all I.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was really fun actually, and it was quite liberating. I felt great afterwards. I was like, oh, no stress in
exactly.
my body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you went in for the audition originally, were there any, sides or words that you had to say for them, or was it just movements?
No, just movement. So I think they were just looking for the mannerism, the stature, just that kind of movement-esque vibe of Dorothy.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, it was lovely. It was a lovely audition. I didn't have to worry, which I think as an actor sometimes, I've done auditions before when I've been given like 5 pages of script and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, can you have this in by tomorrow by 5 p.m.? And I'm like, well, I'm working till 9 p.m.
Yeah.
So, but
So
it's,
no.
so no, but I'll do it anyway and I'll give it my
Right.
best shot. So it was lovely to not, I think, I think that's a main reason why I booked the job. I just didn't worry. I just went in and did what I felt right in the moment, and I just was myself. And
Yeah.
I've really carried that with me through other auditions. I'm just myself, and if I'm not the right person, then that's okay.
Mhm.
So, it was lovely knowing that I'd gone in and I just was unapologetically myself, and I was the right fit and the right pair of eyes, which is again every actor's dream. You've just been yourself, and that's been enough, and you fitted someone's puzzle piece, and so I didn't have to do anything really. I just had to do what I felt was best in the moment, which was a lovely dream. It's
Just
great.
show up. You just had to have your hair in your pigtails.
Yeah,
It's
and
so
to be honest, because I'd done them so quickly, I'd love to watch my audition tape back actually and just see if
yes.
I don't think my parting was straight, anything. So, yeah, and I didn't have curly hair. So this is my natural hair color, but which was in the movie, so I didn't wear a wig. I just had two switches to make it longer. But Frances, who is head of hair and makeup and prosthetics,
Uh-huh.
she actually asked for my hair if she could perm it. And I was like,
Oh.
ooh, so this is a perm. And I've just kept it because I love it so much. I feel like it keeps Dorothy with me in a way.
Wait,
So
that's so cool. So this is you just are
yeah.
keeping up with the perm?
Yeah, I loved it so much,
Oh.
that I kept it, and it was a lovely surprise actually. It went curlier than they expected, so it was nice to reawaken some curls
Yeah.
in my little genetic makeup in here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was lovely actually. I was really grateful that they took such good care of my hair as well, not just for the movie,
Mm.
but considering that I have a life outside of
Right.
Wicked. So I was very grateful that they considered that. And Lorna, who looked after me hair and makeup wise on the film, she really took care of everything: hair, makeup, skincare, even like making sure my lips were hydrated. And such a dream, such a dream.
Yeah, it was literally the dream team working on this film. I know, for you, it was a really interesting case though, because they wanted to keep the focus on Cynthia and Ariana, to my understanding,
Of
and so
course.
we didn't hear from you for a while until
Yeah.
very recently, until basically
Yeah.
the next Super Bowl was what it became, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I kind of, when I got the role, I knew that Dorothy's role in the story was very small, and naturally the focus is on the relationship between Glinda and Elphaba.
Mhm.
So I've seen the musical in the West End, and I'm very lucky. I've got even more screen time than the actress who would naturally play her in the musical.
Mm.
So I already went in knowing that they probably weren't going to show my face, that you just see glimpses of me, and that I'd almost be moving on to another location ahead of either Glinda or Elphaba. So I already knew that I wouldn't probably have my face shown, and I wouldn't maybe necessarily have lines. So I retreated to the shadows, not because I had to, but because it's part of the story. And I do really believe that Dorothy has a really huge, powerful impact, even from the depths of the shadows. And I think that's kind of a message to anybody, that you can have such impact and such
Mhm.
a presence without showing your face or someone hearing your voice. Just your presence alone sometimes can be enough. So
That's such a good point.
yeah, it's been a wild journey, and patience is a virtue. So I feel like God has really put me in a place where my patience has been really exercised. And this is my first movie. I've never done a film. This is my kind of entrance into film. So I've kind of just had to essentially walk on a yellow brick road without knowing the destination and who I
Yeah.
could meet along the way. But luckily, I've been greeted with such kindness, such care, both from actors, both from fans, even from the production team. I've just been so well looked after, and it's been a real learning curve, and I'm excited for what is to come next,
Mhm.
whatever that may be.
Mm.
So, yeah, and I think actually, you know, society nowadays, the less you tell people, the more they want to know.
Yes.
And, it was so uh, thrilling actually to just kind of sit back in the shadows and just watch the world guess who Dorothy might be and try and put all these connections together. And, I was kind of sat there, I was like, you can think it's this person and this person because it keeps me hidden for a bit longer. I also
Yeah.
signed a very hefty NDA, so
Yeah.
so I have to sit quietly, which I don't mind doing. But yeah, so it was almost like being on a it was almost like being a fly on the wall, but the wall was the world.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
and there was so much conversation around it. Even before it was Dorothy, there was so much conversation around Glinda and Elphaba, and then we reached a point where everyone wanted to know about Dorothy. So yeah, whenever it comes to, I guess, a John M. Chu film, that's how the
Mm,
world then reacts. They want to know every little detail. For
yeah.
you, because you couldn't talk about it or even just tell anyone that you were playing Dorothy,
Yes.
did you leave kind of what you ended up thinking were hints on your social media or anywhere else where you were like, well, no one else is going to get this, but I'm going to put this, I don't know, like an Ariana Grande song, or I'm going to put a pink shirt on here or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, I'll be really honest. I was too terrified to post
Yeah, I get
anything that
that.
hinted. Like, I didn't even follow like the Wicked movie page in case like someone went through. And you know what the wildest thing was? You know, I really didn't tell people. I mean, of course, my close family knew because my mum and dad naturally would want to know why I'm getting in this big black car to go to
Yeah.
work. Like, they have to know where I'm going for safety.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't even tell my wider family until the day of the release, which was also my birthday. So
Oh.
they were like, "What? Why didn't you tell us?" I was like, "Well, I signed an NDA, so I couldn't tell you."
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, okay, fair enough." And yeah, I really didn't tell anyone, but and I'm not one for reading comments because I think sometimes it can be a bit of a dangerous place, a bit of a spiraling tornado,
Yeah.
pardon the pun. But yeah, I mean, I think there were lots of people on the set, quite a few occasions. And, I knew lots of people from drama school or previous jobs
Mm.
who were there. And, people, as we know in this business, everyone knows everyone. So, I'd catch like a few comments, and someone who I didn't even know would be like, "Oh, it's not Alicia Weir, it's not this person, it's a girl from my drama school." And I was like, "Oh my God, have you low key just outed me?" I just was like,
Oh, whoa.
so yeah, so if people dig deep enough, like actually early on, like people I didn't even know who somehow discovered it was me have like mildly outed me that I'm Dorothy.
Wait, and also that's so scary for you because 'cause you're like, "I signed an NDA, I
Yes,
didn't tell anyone, but someone else told
I didn't
someone."
do it.
Yeah.
Yes, I just was like, oh my God. And yeah, it just shows though, like our industry is so well connected and it's such a heavy community. And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so I was mildly terrified, so I was quite good and I didn't put anything on my page. And even when I went to the London premiere,
Mhm.
people obviously naturally see it was my name up there, so they'd follow me on Instagram, and then people started leaking it, and then the embargo lifted, and I just was like, oh my God, what do I do? This is wild, because my socials just went crazy.
Uh-huh.
And people were writing all these things about me, and I wasn't allowed to comment or say anything. So I kind of again just had to sit back in the shadows and just let people write things, which was a little bit scary, probably maybe for like a
Yeah.
couple of days, because I was like, I have no control over this. I can't speak, I can't correct anything. Naturally with the marketing narrative and the focus having to be on Ariana and Cynthia, naturally,
Mhm.
because it's Wicked, it's not the Wizard of Oz. So I think as a new actress, it was quite scary for like a couple of days, just watching things kind of unravel. And, you know, again, I've never been through it, so I wasn't really prepared. Me and my agent kind of just had to like hold each other's hands and
Yeah.
like, and just well through it, I guess.
Yeah, and
But
with
I've been very
Wicked, you have to
lucky.
go through like the screener process. So then it happens then, or slowly begins to trickle in then. And then it
Yeah.
happens again with the premiere. And then
Yes.
it begins when other people start to see it. So it's just, you have to probably keep going through that for about a month or so. And it's all during your 30th birthday. So great timing.
Yes. Yes, and I was working on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I was assistant choreographer. So, I had this huge responsibility job, which I'm really grateful for because it really kept my feet on the ground
Hmm.
when I was having all of these inquiries and new followers and messages and PR stuff sent to me, and my agent sending me messages every kind of like hour because she was also being flooded with all of this like lovely interest. Um, so yeah, I mean, I knew I had to kind of sit quietly and wait my turn, and still not knowing if it would ever come.
Yeah.
Um, but I kind of walked into the process knowing that that was going to happen. So
Hmm.
I just had to kind of trust that things would pan out in the way that they're intended to. And I'm not one of those actresses where like I need it all to be about me. And I just was very happy actually just sitting there and watching things unravel. And I think actually that maybe created a little bit more mystery and
Yeah.
interest. So yeah, I mean, it's been such a whirlwind. Things are still whirling around me, which is I'm very grateful for. Hey, I'm not complaining. I just the amount of love that I've received from fans, and lots of people who are friends of Dorothy have reached out to me, and they've said things like, "I'm so happy to see Dorothy on the screen again. It's given me such hope, considering
Oh.
like the way our world is and the way sometimes we're treated. Like just seeing you on the screen again has been a huge impact." And I think the world shouldn't underestimate the power of Dorothy.
Hmm.
People don't love me, they love Dorothy and who she represents and who has played her before. And I really hope that I can still be that friend of Dorothy that everybody needs, even in 2026. So that's what I'm hopeful
Absolutely.
for.
Oh, and I think, I mean, it just goes to show, based on the DMs that you're receiving and the conversations that are being had around your name, it sounds like that's exactly how people feel, like you're bringing so much joy to them. Did you
Yes.
happen to chat with like Ariana, Cynthia, Jonathan, Ethan? Did they give you any advice when it came to all of this?
All of this. Yes, I mean, I was so lucky. They were all so kind to me and
Mhm.
were really warm and welcoming. And like Ariana's my like vocal idol, um, and Cynthia as well. They are
Yeah.
just exceptional, and just to kind of observe their work. I was really lucky and I was able to watch behind the monitor quite a lot of the time. I really love
Oh.
to listen and observe and watch people be great. I think
Mhm.
that's a really powerful thing as an actor to
To
have.
observe.
And it gives you a moment of stillness as well, just to really embrace where you are. So I learnt a lot from watching them.
Yeah.
Um, and Ethan and Amari, who's the body of the lion, who actually went to my drama school, which was lovely.
Oh.
And yeah, I was like, oh hi. So and then Johnny was wonderful and kind and playful, and everything that you'd hope the scarecrow
Yeah.
would be to Dorothy, he was,
Yeah.
which was lovely. So I wouldn't say they gave advice with their words, they gave advice with their actions. So
Mhm.
I was able to watch, Johnny's screen test, Ethan's screen test, um, Ariana and Cynthia. I watched the scene together outside my disheveled house that
Mhm.
lands in Munchkin Land. I was able to talk to them, um, and just like, they're normal, lovely people at the end of the day, and we're all there to tell the story, whether, it's a small role like Dorothy or it's like a huge, impactful role like Alphabet and Glinda. So I definitely would say they taught me a lot through their work and their actions.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure lots of people can agree with me. Their craft throughout part one and part two, and I can't imagine like the emotional stamina they've had to have to kind of endure those like emotional arcs,
Mhm.
not only just through part one but part two. So yeah, I mean, they are all incredible performers and
Yeah.
actors and artists and singers and dancers, actually. So, and people. So I
The
was
full
really lucky.
package.
The full package,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I learned a lot from their actions, for sure.
Yeah, I'm always so curious about what it's like to meet the leads on any project, but especially
Yes.
when it comes to one like Wicked, where Ariana and Cynthia were really put on such a massive pedestal, but also in the
Yeah.
same way that they put their characters on that pedestal. We
Yes.
hear about how Ari loved every aspect of Wicked, every
Yes.
character in Wicked, and so the way that they view their characters is kind of the way that the world viewed them in these roles,
Yes.
which was really cool. Uh,
Yeah.
what was the experience like when you first met them?
Oh my gosh. I mean, my first time meeting Ari was hilarious, actually. It was my first day on set, and Ari had come to watch the set because it was Ethan and Johnny's first time as the Tin Man and the Scarecrow, because they had been in for like a good like 4 or 5 months before
Yeah.
me. Um, and I was half dressed in my like Dorothy attire, and she came into my tent, and she was like, "Oh, hi, I'm Ariana, so nice to meet you, I've heard so much about you." And I was like, and she gave me a really warm, lovely hug. And I mean, I adore her, so I just was like, "Oh my goodness."
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
Ariana.
yeah. And just we had like a really nice chat about like Wicked, and she's a couple of years older than me. And yeah, it was so lovely. And she's this incredible, not only actress but artist.
Mhm.
So it was so nice to see that humility and that kindness,
Yeah.
which I feel she portrays and lives actually in her day-to-day life, when you see her in the public eye. And I'm sure she's like that all the time. And then Cynthia as well. We were doing the scene where it's the silhouette where I throw the water at
Mhm.
her and she melts. And um, yeah, I first met her. I kind of came into the set, which was quite dark, and then I kind of like look, and she's standing there, and I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, I love her as well. I've grown up like listening and watching The Color Purple, so I've loved her kind of from like her first moment in the musical spotlight, to my knowledge. And she was so kind to me. She gave me such a warm hug.
Oh.
um, and yeah, she was just lovely. And I got to watch her again behind the monitor do her melt, and it was a masterclass in itself. She is just an extraordinary actress, and she deserves all of the success
Mhm.
that has come her way and will come for sure. So I can strongly say that everyone was just a dream to work with, and kindness was just in the air every time I stepped on the set. So I was really lucky. They've all set the bar really high, really,
Yeah.
really high for my next movie, hopefully. So
What a
yeah.
great debut. But
Yeah,
also, oh man, where do you go for
I
me?
know. I know, oh my goodness. But yeah, what an entry into film. I'm so
Yes.
lucky and so grateful to everyone who made it possible. So yeah,
I
lucky
just keep
me.
picturing the fact that you watched Cynthia going through the melting scene in person, because
Yeah,
watching that on screen was unreal, but watching it
yeah.
in person, you're probably sitting there with full body chills.
Yeah, I was speechless. I just was like,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, it really. it's surreal. I mean, getting to watch Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, like even just through a monitor, and then glance to my right, and there they are doing this incredible work. So, um, yeah, they really deserved those roles, and they've really deserved
Yeah.
all of the adoration that they've received because, yeah, I mean, we've seen the movies. They really are incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really aspire to be as good as them one day. I hope I get the opportunity to do something like that because
Yeah, it's like
they've made an impact, definitely.
for sure. It's like a master class for anyone to be able to be on set and see all of that happen in person. And then finding out for us, but you already saw this, us finding out that they actually sang while they were going through all of this and it wasn't something that they did in post.
Yes. See, I thought this was normal. I think this is a musical
Oh
theatre
yeah.
trait. So
Yeah.
I thought it was normal that people do this when they're doing a movie that has singing in. I thought it was normal that people sing. So I kind of was like, oh, that was a nice note. Oh, that was a
Yeah.
nice bell. Well done. Whoa. And yeah, so then when this whole kind of narrative came out that it was like groundbreaking that they're
Yeah.
singing on set, I was like, oh, I thought that was normal. And I guess, lucky me that I kind of was like moments away from hearing them sing. I mean, when we were shooting the scene for the witch hunt, and Ethan is singing not only from like 8 a.m. until 5 p.m., but also in like full prosthetics. And, like me, Johnny, Amari, and Ethan would be together, and he'd be like, I'm really sorry. Like, I think, am I yelling? Because he had obviously ear prosthetics on as well.
Mhm.
Again, the prosthetics, even just the screen doesn't even do it justice how incredible the prosthetics are on the movie. They up close are even more mesmerizing and impressive.
Yeah, and you were
Um,
literally right there. You saw them up
yeah,
close and personal. That's so sick to see. Ugh.
it was so cool. And Ethan was singing with like these like mouth guard things in, and
Oh.
his ears almost like muffled, and he had this amazing hat on, and he was all like silversified and wearing a really heavy costume. And I mean, Ethan is also a theater
Mhm.
performer as well, so he has the stamina to do that. And musical theater stamina is so unique, and no one would understand unless they are actually a performer. There's a reason why performers are under the athlete umbrella, because
Mhm.
like having to sing in those circumstances from like 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 p.m. over and over and over again, take after take, it is really admirable, honestly. So, but I thought it was normal for people to sing on set. I guess that's the inner theatre kid in me. It's just drilled in that like singing over and over again is normal.
Yeah.
Um,
It probably
yeah,
felt just like a theater or like a
yeah,
musical that well, it is, but, it feels like an on-stage performance where everyone is also just, like, theater kids,
yes,
on the
yeah,
inside. They're probably all just walking around singing all day. This is what I
yeah.
picture as someone who's a fan of the work.
Yes, absolutely. So I'd be just there watching Ethan sing, like, oh, that was a nice note. And then like Oscar the dog is like lying on my shoulder and just like having a nice time. And then yeah, it's really funny. I was like, oh, I guess to people who aren't performers, it's not normal. I
Yeah.
mean, being an artist for some people is not normal, but it's the most wonderful normal I could ever experience.
Yeah.
Ethan's voice is beautiful, as is Ariana and Cynthia's and Johnny's. So yeah, it was really lovely. I've serenaded most days, so I can't complain.
Yeah. So, you now have Wicked for Good in the books. Your
Yeah,
your feature debut, just unreal for a debut. What
I
type
know.
of I know you said that there's been a lot that has come from this, but what type of opportunities have come since the movie came out?
Yes, I mean, just for me, when I got this role, I always said to myself, when this is kind of common knowledge, I just hope it opens the audition door a little wider to maybe some other projects that I would
Yeah.
be able to audition for. So it's definitely had that effect so far. And, I'm just really trusting my manifestation skills that
Here we go again, yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Right. One's in the bag. Let's see what's coming. Yeah, I mean, I trust that the opportunity will come, and I trust that I'll be given the opportunity to show the world what I can do, not just as Dorothy, but as Bethany.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited to see what other opportunity appears, but I've definitely got something to show the world. So I hope I get that chance soon.
Oh, do you think you're gonna stick down the musical route, or are you going to try to do, like, more dramas, comedy?
Ooh, well, I go to an acting class in London just to kind of help hone in my skills, and I actually tried a comedy script for the first time in my life, actually.
Oh, whoa.
Um, yeah, I've never done comedy. I don't know why. I just thought I'm not funny, so I've never tried it.
Comedy is so hard,
So
first of all. People don't
yeah,
realize.
it's really difficult, but yeah, I mean, turns out I actually did a pretty decent job. So
Oh.
who knows? I might try something in the comedy realm. I'd love to be able to be in a period drama. Something like Bridgerton would be wonderful. In my mind, I'm like, how many siblings are left? Do
Wait, such
any
a
of
good
them
point.
need? Yes, I'm like, how many siblings are left? I think is it two or three?
I
I
wanna
think.
say it's only 2 left, but they're gonna start branching out. There's cousins. Who knows? They'll figure it
Yeah,
out. And
a
you look
best
like a
friend.
16-year-old, so you have plenty of
Exactly.
time.
Yes, maybe I can be like Hyacinth's best friend who's a little bit cheeky. I don't know. So something in that kind of part of the industry for sure. Um, but yeah, I just would love to try anything that would challenge me as a actress and an artist.
Mhm.
But definitely something in the period drama route would be something I'd really, really be interested in. I definitely think I would do well in that part of the industry. So let's manifest. We've done it.
Putting it right on the center of your vision board. Let's go.
Yes. Oh,
We're
she's
ready.
there already. Don't
Oh,
worry. She's
perfect.
in the middle. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for it to come true though, because as we know, you're the queen of manifesting. So
Absolutely, I know. Well, honestly, it does work. And I think, if I can give any advice
Mhm.
to performers or just anyone in general, believing in yourself is the best thing that you can do. It's probably the best form of self love, actually, believing in yourself and not waiting for someone else to do it for you.
Mhm. Absolutely.
And a vision board is also a lovely Saturday evening. Have a coconut matcha,
Oh,
have your collagen face mask on, do your vision board, Bridgerton in the background. Part two is coming soon of the new season. There
I
we
think
go, Saturday evening.
this is how we manifest right here. Oh my
Yeah.
god, this is so good. Bethany, thank you so much for joining us. I
Yes, thank you for
loved
having
hearing
me.
your story.
Thank
Finally, we've
you.
waited so long.
I know my voice is finally heard. So I'm so grateful that you've allowed me to come on, Jess. Thank you. It's been so lovely chatting with you.
Same to you. No one else I would wait until 3 AM to
I
speak with.
know.
No.
Go and have that power nap. Oh my
Right, right.
goodness.
Yeah, let me go take
Thank
a
you
quick little
so
nap
much.
after this one.
You got the golden ticket.